welcome to Thunai Podcast's Book Reviews. In this episode, we review the book No Mud No Lotus by Thich Nhat Hanh. Hanh is a Vietnamese Buddhist monk and is renowned as a peace activist and teacher of the mindfulness practice. He has published over 100 books on meditation and mindfulness. Let's get to the review.
The book No Mud No Lotus by Thich Nhat Hanh provides simple, easy-to-understand practices and actions for finding happiness and inner peace. As the title implies, there is no happiness without suffering. In fact, a lot of unhappiness is caused by the expectation or avoidance of suffering. Let me repeat, unhappiness is caused when we try to avoid or ignore suffering, or when we give it too much attention. The mud is always around the lotus. The lotus of happiness grows from and beyond the mud of suffering. The book talks about the importance of accepting and processing the negative experiences and using them to bring in positive thoughts and happiness. When we get a physical wound like a cut or a scrape, we simply clean it, dress it, and then go on about our lives. We cannot wish away the pain or inconvenience of the wound, but we do know that it will heal soon. We do not aggravate the wound by dwelling on it, agonizing about the unfairness of the wound, or ruminating over whatever we did to get injured in the first place. We don't seek these wounds to happen, but they do happen. We deal with them appropriately and move on. Letting go is critical. But mental suffering is different. It is often like an extra wound that we inflict upon ourselves that not only slows down our healing, but adds more pain and suffering. If physical wounds happen by accident and not by design, how do mental wounds happen? Why do we pile on mental suffering? Most probably because we carry the seeds of suffering within us. It is passed down from our parents, conditioned by our environment, and learned from our experiences. The same mud helps the growth of the seeds of suffering just as it does the lotus of happiness. This is a very powerful insight of the book. The key to happiness is choosing what to grow, the seeds of suffering or the seeds of happiness. Mental suffering like anxiety, jealousy, fear and anger can be avoided or reduced by not watering the seeds of suffering within us. The key message of the book is that there is suffering in life. This is the first of the Four Noble Truths of Buddha. To accept that suffering exists is the first step to finding the right path to happiness and beyond. Once we do that, we work towards becoming aware of its influence on us and others around us, and how to build our strength from it. The path we take is to develop mindfulness and compassion. The book provides practical guidance with daily breathing exercises, mantras, and mindfulness practices to transform suffering into happiness. These practices bring mind-body alignment, and we become aware of the many wonders of life in the present moment as we let go of worries, fears, and anxieties. Mindfulness stops our mind from chaotic thinking and provides energy to recognize, embrace, and overcome suffering. Mindfully performing everyday tasks like breathing, cooking, washing, brushing, walking, sitting, eating allows us to enjoy the current moments without distraction and feel happiness and joy throughout the day. The book provides practical steps for doing our daily activities mindfully. The 5 practices of letting go, inviting positive seeds, mindfulness, concentration, and insight help us to extend and renew happiness and overcome suffering. The exercises are grouped well and graded, allowing a novice to start with the basics and move on to a greater sense of equanimity and awareness. In conclusion, the book No Mud No Lotus provides practical techniques to develop mental immunity. This is the key to transforming our suffering into happiness.
This is our quick review of No Mud No Lotus by Thich Nhat Hanh. I love the title. It is a memorable soundbite for us to recall when we face difficulties. But the essence is really in the day-to-day practices. Please see more self-care tips on our website. Thank you for listening to Thunai Podcasts.